Hi darling, hi darling, hi darling. How was your day? How was your day? Yeah, I got your text saying that you were having a stressful day, so I came over as soon as I could so that I'd be here for when you got back. Yeah, I put some like blankets and cushions out for you, so just take a seat and get comfortable, okay? Yeah, just get comfortable, just get comfy, comfy, comfy. I've made you a tea, because I know that you like tea. It's in the biggest mug that you own, and it's the lemon balm tea that you like with fennel. It smells really good. Yeah, smell. Yeah, that's really good. So I'm just going to put it there for you, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb so that nobody disturbs us, because I just want to give you my full attention to help you feel a little bit more relaxed. Relaxed. Yeah. I thought that I could just give you a little bit of a face massage to help get rid of any tension, because I know sometimes you hold some tension like in your temples. I can see you're doing it now, you're tensing your face and your jaws. So I just thought that I could give you a little bit of a face massage to release the tension that you're storing in your face, okay? Yeah. And then I was reading before I got here. Before I got here. And also before you got here. So I could read to you a little bit if you like. Yeah, what is it? It's a Gothic novel. It's so good. It's set in 1812, I think. Yeah, they keep flicking between like 1812. You can see here. And let's find the other year, 1816. Yeah. The front of the book is really pretty. Let me show you. You can see it has the gold flecks, I don't know, little bits of gold in the flowers, which is just so pretty. And it says Mary just down the front, or the birth of Frankenstein. Yeah, it's so good, and it's WLW, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be reading it. I'm just, where did I get to? I got to page 102. Maybe I can read you some of my favourite parts. Yeah. Shall I read you the back so you know what it's going to be about in a minute when I read it to you? Yeah, okay. As darkness falls and storms rage over Lake Geneva, a group of friends gather in a candlelit villa. Among them are 18-year-old Mary, that's the main character, and her mercurial lover, Percy Shelley. As laudanum stirs their feverish imaginations, their host, Lord Byron, challenges everyone to write a ghost story. Suddenly, Mary is transported back to the long, strange summer in the wilds of Scotland, where she fell in love with the enigmatic Isabella Baxter. As she remembers, something fierce and terrifying awakes within her. Now she will unleash it into the world. It's so good. It starts off it's a very descriptive book, and there's sort of like an overlying theme of like Gothic, moody vibe. It starts off very chilled, and then now I'm reading it and I'm in like page 100. It's starting to get a little bit more scary. There's some bits that are quite scary, so I'm not going to read them to you today because I know you've had a stressful day. But I'll just read you some of the good bits just so you know what the book is about and just to help you fall asleep. Yeah. But first I'm just going to cleanse your face. Cleanse your face. You don't have any makeup on, do you? You're so naturally gorgeous. Yeah. I know you don't feel like it right now, but you are. I know you have like a really stressful, ongoing situation at work. But just so you know, I have lots of trust in you, lots of faith in your ability. You're really, really good at your job, okay? And you're really clever, and you're really good at problem solving. Those are some things that I really, really like about you, okay? You're so, so clever. And you're really good in stressful situations. You always make the right choices. And even if you don't, I know that you learn from them. So don't worry about this too much, because I know, like, when you go back to work on Monday and you look at it from a fresh set of eyes, it's going to be a lot easier to decide what you're going to do next, okay? Yeah. Just gently cleansing your face. Yeah, it can be stressful when things don't work out, but I have a really good weekend planned for us, don't worry. Yeah, so I was thinking that tomorrow we're going to go to a flower market, because I know you love to look at the flowers, and we're going to pick up some vanilla lattes on the way, or they have a new lavender matcha that we can get, because I know that you're really into matcha right now. So we're going to go and pick those up, go look at the flowers. You're going to help me choose a really pretty bouquet for you, okay? Because you deserve some flowers. And I want to put together a really nice bouquet for you, but I want you to choose the flowers that are in there, just so it's something that you'll love, okay? And then we can just go and sit in a park somewhere and chill. It's supposed to be really nice weather, not too hot. I was thinking we'll go to the park that has all the trees, so we can sit in the shade and just relax. Yeah, I don't want you doing too much of anything too strenuous, just something relaxing. Okay, I think that's your face nice and cleansed. Cleanse. Let me just get under your eyes. Just look up. Just look up. Yeah, just look up. Okay. Perfect. And just close your eyes a second. Just close your eyes. Keep them closed. Okay, you can open your eyes now, gorgeous. Perfect. Yeah, your face is nice and clean. Yeah, and so on Sunday, we're actually going to go for brunch with your friends. Yeah, it's a surprise. This is why I told you to keep this weekend free. We planned this a while ago. Some late birthday celebrations for you. Of course. No, you deserve it. Yeah, so just some late birthday celebrations, nothing crazy, but we are going for brunch. We're going to that place that does the really pretty avocado toasts and things, and the nice like sausage grills and things like that, and they put flowers on everything. Yeah, I just want to make sure there's a lot of flowers in the weekend because I know you love them. So we'll go for brunch around 11:30, and that will involve some drinks, although if you're feeling stressed and you want a clear head for Monday, then you don't have to drink too much. Nobody's going to make you feel bad or pressured, okay? Yeah, and then we were going to go and play some arcade games, because I know like that's a really good way to let out some energy, and you should feel nice and rested after this evening and after tomorrow. Yeah, that place that we went to for one of our first dates, you remember? Yeah, of course I remember, that's why I booked it. Again, that's something I booked a while ago and we're all going together, so. But yeah, just getting some oil. But yeah, that should be really nice. And it's the one that like tallies up the scores. And I know you're competitive deep down, so hopefully that should be really nice for you. And it's booked for 2, so we've got 3 hours at brunch, like 2.5. The sitting's like 2 hours. And then after, we'll go and play some games for a couple of hours, and we'll get home at a good time so that you can get lots of rest for Monday, okay? Yeah. Perfect. Have you been drinking loads of water recently? Yeah, I can tell your skin is so hydrated. No, honestly, I'm so jealous. I get really dry skin. Yours is always just glowing. I know whenever we wake up, I'm always looking at you. I'm like, how's her skin so flawless when we've just woken up? It is. Okay. Just going to rub your jaw just to get rid of any tension that you're holding there. You can relax your jaw. Oh my goodness, it's so tense, so tense. Just relax, remove any tension from your jaw, remove any tension from your cheekbones and from your temples. Just let go. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. You can close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Just focus on your breathing. Okay. Did you listen to those songs that I sent you? You did, on the way to work? Oh my gosh. I know you've been so busy, so I didn't want to make you feel like you had to, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know I was thinking of you because I heard these songs about being in love, and I just thought of you, and I just thought you should hear them. Yeah, the one especially about the girl with the pretty eyes, that made me think of you. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, does your face feel a little less tense now? Yeah, okay, perfect. I'm just going to rub it up your neck a little bit as well. Perfect, okay. Just going to rub the rest of it into my hands. How's your tea? Have a little sip. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? I know you really like. They have a different flavour with lemon balm. Is it like, yeah, it's like it's like, that's the fennel one. What's the other one that they do? Elderflower. Yeah, I know you really like that one, so I just wanted to get something along those lines for you that you could enjoy. Yeah, exactly. Do you feel a little bit less tense? Okay, good, I'm glad. Okay. Do you want me to read to you, or would you rather do something else? Yeah? Okay, cool. You can just lie back and close your eyes. This book, oh my gosh, it's so nice. Let me find the first page that I want to read to you. Okay, so this is where, do you remember in the back of the book I was telling you, like, a group of friends gather in a candlelit villa. So the main character, Mary, she's just moved into this candlelit villa because there's a storm, and Isabella, the girl that she ends up falling in love with her, she's like kind of hidden away in her room quite a lot because she's lost her mother and she's very sad, so she's spending a lot of time like shut away in her room. And this is towards the beginning of the book. It's like page 50. So she's only just found out like where Isabella's room even is in the house, because it's a villa, right? So it's absolutely massive. And this is where Isabella lives with her father and her brothers, who I think are called Robert and Johnny, if you hear the names in the story. Yeah. Okay. And it's told from the perspective of Mary. Okay. So this is the 23rd of June 1812. Now that I know where Isabella's room is, I often walk past it. My fingers stroke the doorknob. If you were to ask me what I find so unimaginably intriguing about her, I should not be able to give you an answer. But since I met her, suspicions have been swirling around inside me. I thought I was coming to Dundee to recover, but I was wrong. I believe I'm here because of Isabella. I often sit in a corner by the window in the drawing room, reading or writing a little, and listening to the conversations between Johnny and Robert, or between Robert and Mr. Baxter, Isabella's dad. In London, I sometimes thought I simply did not love people. I could really dislike Fanny at times because she was so sweet, even when she should be angry. Claire because she was incapable of sweetness, unless it suited her, which meant her love was not really love. Mary Jane, I do not even wish to speak of her. My father is the only one I love profoundly, but even that is complicated. But now that I'm looking at this family, Isabella's family, I think perhaps I was wrong. Maybe I do love people, and that idea makes me feel so light inside, as if I might just float away. Maybe it is all yet to begin. Maybe this is where it begins. Isabella came to sit beside me. It was beautiful weather, the sky as blue as if it were painted, the warmth of the sun caressing my skin under the parasol, as I was sitting in one of the sun chairs at the bottom of the garden. She took me by surprise, but perhaps that was because I was in the middle of a book, and my nerves were afire as I was drawn into the world of that book. So, once again, she startled me. Apparently, she found that amusing. She asked what I was reading, and I showed her the book. I also told her that Claire was waiting at home for me to finish it so I could write her a reassuring letter. Isabella gave me a brief smile. I did not know what else to say. Her smile, the way she tilted her head, her mouth curled up at the corner, made me forget all good sense. She tucked a loose lock of hair into a pin above her ear. She was not wearing a hat, and the parasol was only shading me, so I foolishly asked if she was not going to be bothered by the sun. Yes, she said, most probably. She did not smile, just looked at me, almost in amazement. Chemistry. I moved aside a little in the sun chair, but it was fairly obvious there was not enough room for two. Isabella shook her head. I'm going to visit Margaret and Mr. Booth tomorrow. Margaret is Isabella's sister, and Mr. Booth is her sister's husband. They live in Fife. I wanted to ask if you would come with me. We can go in the carriage. I was surprised that she asked me. Up until that moment, I had believed she stayed in her room because of me, but now I was ashamed of that thought, as if the world revolved around me. Yes, I said, I should like to come. Isabella nodded and walked back to the house. As I thought about the next day, equal parts of agitation and joy fought for attention inside me. It's like really cute because she's basically asking, like Isabella's asking Mary to go to visit her sister with her. So that's like a day that they're going to spend together, and she wants her to come. Up until that point, Isabella and Mary have barely spoken in the book because Isabella's like locked away in her room, obviously because she's sad, and Mary's like really intrigued about her. She doesn't really know why until this, I don't know, like, you know, when she's saying, like, describing her smile and things, you know, there's moments like that. But yeah, okay, this part is where they've gone to see Margaret, Isabella's sister, and they're going for a walk around the garden. And Isabella's like walking, and Mary's following her. Okay. Are you okay, by the way? Yeah, good. Okay. So, Mary says, I followed her among the poppies, the hibiscus, and the love-and-a-miss, which were not laid out neatly by variety, as one often sees, but mixed together in a glorious natural jumble. There must have been a couple of dozen butterflies fluttering around. I do not believe I have ever seen so many in one place. Isabella continued along the path to the back of the flower garden, where there was a well. We placed our hands on the cool edge. The water was so high that I could have touched it with my fingertips if I had leant forward. But the mortar between the bricks of the well was green with moss, and I did not want to dirty my clean gown while we were on a visit. Isabella pulled up the bucket and held it out to me. I laughed as I lifted the rim of the bucket to my mouth, and that made Isabella laugh too, and a splash of water fell down my neck and onto my gown. Startled, I stepped back, but in spite of the shock of the cold water, I was still laughing, because I saw that Isabella was also laughing, with her hands over her mouth, apologetically, but still irrepressibly happy. I gave her a playful push, and we decided to walk on a little further, down the hill, and although the warmth was beating on our backs, we stayed in the sun. We lay in the grass, at the foot of the hill, by the edge of the forest. Isabella could not tell me if this was all part of the estate, but there was no one around to chase us away. Besides, why would they? We lay on our backs, eyes closed. I thought of my gown from time to time, how the grass might leave stains on it that would be hard to get out, but we were lying so peacefully, the sun soothingly holding us down like a warm, heavy blanket. I saw colours sparkling in the reddish black of my eyelids, and those movements stilled every thought that floated up within me. We did not say a word. Every now and then there was a breeze, cooling us just enough that we did not sleep. I could smell her, sweat and soap, mingled with the scent of warm grass and the wildflowers blooming between us. Startled, I gasped. I had fallen asleep after all. I had sat up so suddenly that Isabella opened her eyes too, and we decided to walk back up the hill, past the well, through the flower garden, and into the house. It was probably already time for lunch. They go into the house, basically. And you know how she's like been led in the grass, and she spilled the water down her. I love this book because it's so like descriptive in terms of, you know, it really pulls you into the story. Anyway, they get back, and she's like obviously a bit mess. She says, we passed a tall, richly decorated mirror. For a moment, I thought the reflection I saw in it was not me. My hair was all in all directions, with even a long stalk of grass sticking out of it. The sun had turned my face and neck a bold shade of red, and there were indeed a few green stains on my gown. Isabella, too, looked like some kind of vagabond, but I only saw it now, perhaps because Isabella has a face that is both charming and resolute in all circumstances. There is a wisdom in her eyes, and at the same time a gentle sort of mockery, as if all manners are only manners, all formality is simply for show, her own days merely waiting rooms for the big adventure. I felt a little awkward when I discovered how terrible I looked, but Isabella did not seem to care too much. Because they like each other. It's so cute, like, the way things are described, you know. I find it so calming. So, a little while later, they've gone back now, back from Isabella's sister's house, and they're back with Isabella's like main family, her brothers and her dad. And they go to a fair. Let me find the part that I want to read to you. Oh no, wait, we haven't got that yet. Yeah, okay, we haven't got that yet. They're going to the fair, but this is like still while they're back at her sister's house. I lied, I'm so sorry. So, they've gone back into the house. After their walk in the garden, they have some food, and then they're not really sure what else to do, so they go back outside again. And they're like walking around and things. And then Isabella suddenly stopped. They're walking back to the house after their second walk. Isabella suddenly stopped. She looked at me, sighed, and a slight smile appeared on her face. "I'm so glad you came with me today," she said. "I sometimes find it so terribly difficult to do things since Mamma..." She turned away from me a little. "I'm so very sorry," I said. I wanted to say something else, something nice and comforting, which would no doubt have come out clumsily and had no effect, but she turned around and hugged me. And in that embrace was everything: her silence, her inward gaze, her petulance, and her uncontrollable laughter, her magnificent, terrible fabrications. The sun was shining in my eyes, so I closed them. She had her arms around my waist. My hands were gently stroking the hair that tumbled down her back, and there we stood. Cute, right? Okay, so we're now at the kind of like more spooky part. When that happens, there's like a few more throughout the book. Mary's like talking about something really dark that's happened to her, which I'm not going to say now because I don't want to stress you out. And obviously we've spoken about the fact that Isabella has lost her mum. So they both are kind of like fighting through things, and because the book is like gothic and dark and moody, it sort of is always referring to this like darkness, but up until this point it's very like light and cute, you know what I mean? Okay, so now they are at the circus. Now they've gone to like this fairground, I don't know, like circus type thing, and they walked around and they bought some sugar and they went on like a carousel and things, nothing crazy. And now they're walking past a tent. It's towards the end of the day, and now a woman calls to them. She says, "Young ladies." I was startled, as I believe was Isabella. In front of the tent sat a stout, somewhat older lady. She was not dressed like most of the fair people. She was wearing a respectable gown, boots polished to a gleam, and a pearl necklace with a locket hung on her white throat. Her grey hair was pinned up tightly. She looked at us kindly with narrowed eyes. The sun was low. "You look like two young, adventurous ladies, and you're not easily disturbed, are you? You like to be thrilled, but there is nothing that is too spine-chilling for you, is there?" The woman had a serious expression, but Isabella laughed. "A thrill can only truly chill," she continued, "if what thrills and chills so is actually real. Is that not true?" Now she was laughing too. Her teeth were a yellowish brown. "Real spine-chilling horrors. Where can you find them these days?" "Not here, not in any of these tents." She's pointing around at the others. "That much is clear. Deception, that's all it is, entertainment and deception, except." She turned and pointed at the tent she was sitting in front of. It seemed like just all the other tents. Isabella and I looked at each other, giggling skeptically. "What is it?" asked Isabella. "That, my dear, is a question I cannot answer. What can be seen inside this tent is not of this world, and so it cannot be described with words of this world." I wanted to leave. I do not believe I was afraid, at least not of whatever was inside the tent, but I did not like the way the woman spoke. She did not appear to be inviting just any two people to enter her tent. It was almost as if she particularly wanted the two of us there. Nodded Isabella, as if she thought it profound. "Well then, we should take a look, don't you think, Mary?" And then they pay the entrance. And the woman pulls the canvas aside. There was a light inside the tent. As the woman dropped the canvas, a female voice began to sing. It sounded reedy, as if she had always lost her voice. Isabella and I stopped. For some reason, the thought of walking any further into the tent was terrible. Every step forward would feel like reliving your worst memory. "Oh God," Isabella said quietly. It sounded as if she were crying. It was so strange, as if I had suddenly been given more memories, as if I could now remember everything, and I did not understand why I had forgotten those memories outside the tent, in my life. It made so much sense. They were so close to me. So it's like a woman singing in the tent and is making them feel very creepy, she says at one point. In my stomach it grew dark, and the darkness spoke to me softly. Anyway, she's like getting pulled into this woman singing, I don't know. And she says, "Isabella squeezed my hand so hard that the pain sparked through my arm. I looked at her in the semi-darkness, and her cheeks were wet, her eyes gleaming, her lashes thick and stuck together. The singing had stopped some time ago, I thought. We turned around. I reached for the canvas, found the exit, and we fled. I do not believe the woman was outside any longer, but I am not certain. because we walked so fast, so far away from the tent, we had entered of our own volition, which did not bode well, which did not cause our rashness to falter, until the darkness revealed itself to us in its full glory, surrounding us and penetrating us with malevolent purity. So they just feel really horrible now, for no reason. When they get home, they have some milk, and they like sit and chill with the rest of the family because they all went to the circus together. It's just that Isabella and Mary had gone off on their own together. And then we went to my bedroom, Isabella and I. I lit a lamp with the fire from the hearth and placed it on the bedside table. Isabella lay beside me on my bed. I leant against the headboard. She had her eyes open and was gazing at something that was floating between the fire and the ceiling. Mary? A spark. She did not move, was still looking away from me. What did you see? The images returned, even though I had been quite successful at bandaging them all evening. I won't read that part. I looked at her. Her eyes showed nothing, but maybe that was because she was still not looking at me. I can't explain it, I said. Then she looked at me, her lips pursing, her eyes growing bright. I saw a man, but I do not know what he looked like. He was big. I knew him, but I can no longer remember who he was. I was afraid, Mary. He was too big. I mean, he was unreal, his spirit. It was not a human being. Then Isabella asks Mary what she saw, and she says. And then Isabella says, what kind of tent was that? Mary says that. What kind of tent was that? I asked. Isabella turned towards me. I don't know. It's as if I've seen something that doesn't exist, but which belongs with me even so. Do you understand? I thought back to the blackness. It surrounded her too. It penetrated her too. It was inside of us. I slid down, her arm around me, my back against her stomach, her breath tickling my neck. She started to sing very quietly. I had never heard Isabella sing, and although she did not reach some notes, and her voice cracked a little on the low notes, I thought it was beautiful. I didn't understand the song entirely, as some of the words were Scots, but it was about the sea, about waves washing over one another, again and again, for centuries, about the sea knowing no time, no reason, no guilt. Okay. It's starting to get spooky, it's so good. And then I'll read you the page that I've just read. We're on the 30th of June now. I don't know, I can't see if you're keeping your eyes open or closed, but just to let you know. I woke early today, an hour earlier than usual. Something made me alert. This is the day after, by the way. Sorry, bad storytelling from me. I woke early today, an hour earlier than usual. Something made me alert, as if a thought whispered that it was better to be awake. I washed and dressed myself and went downstairs. From behind Johnny's door came the sound of thumping and banging. It was cold, and the morning light had not yet coloured the house. Halfway down the stairs, I heard the piano. I did not know the tune. Notes high and low alternated in a fast, rhythmic tempo. I stood and listened. I suspected it was Robert. He usually played the piano in the morning, before going to help his father at the factory. But I had never heard him play so beautifully before. He knew children's songs, lullabies, tunes he made up himself, which were not bad, but had no depth, no emotion, no layers whatsoever. Then, suddenly, the piece was over. I walked into the drawing room and saw Isabella at the piano. She turned on her stool and looked as if she had been expecting me. Probably because Isabella wanted Mary to hear her play the piano. Mary, she said, standing up and coming towards me, did I wake you? That was not possible, as she knew. My room was on the other side of the house, a floor higher. I shook my head. You're up early, I said. You too. She looked at me with a pensive expression. Were we thinking the same thing? Were we thinking about what we had seen in the tent at the fair yesterday? Could she, like me, still feel that dark presence inside her? Had she, too, gone to sleep in the expectation, in the hope that it was an evening feeling, an evening fear, which would seem ridiculous, absurd during the daytime, And did she too feel, as soon as she awoke, that hideousness, the obvious presence of that something, that thing that had seeped into us through the cracks in our souls? That thing that we could not name, which was at once sadness, fear, and indomitable fury, and was holding fast with its barbs, bewitching us from within, making us heavier, more intense. I looked up into her water-green eyes, which, I believed, had the courage to see what I had also seen. We had grown, but so had the ghosts and the monsters. They no longer waited under our beds, sharpening their claws. They were no longer hidden among the gowns in the closet, or in the shadows in the attic. No, they lived with us. They sat beside us as we read books, walked with us when we went for a stroll, lay beside us under the sheet of night. "You play beautifully," I said. "What was that piece of music?" Isabella smiled. "It's not a real piece. I came up with it myself." "Really? You can compose?" "She got that from Mamma," Robert said from behind us. A silence fell, in which the entire house seemed to bathe, as if something had just been lost. The moment between them, which was ruined by Robert. It's so good. I need to put my bookmark back. I'm on page 102 now, which will be the 10th of July. I was reading it yesterday as well. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? It's such a pretty book. Did you hear the ice cream van? Yeah. Would you like something sweet? Are you hungry? No? Okay. Let me know if you would like me to get you something. Do you want maybe some more tea or something? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go and get you some more tea. And then we can lay together and we can watch something and you can fall asleep peacefully, okay? Yeah, I can stroke your hair and help you fall asleep. Okay, darling. I'll just go and get you some more tea. You're finished with this, yeah? Okay, cool. You go and get comfy then, and I will be back